Hello guys, Sean Hess here with Hess Motorsports along with my dad Glenn Hess. We're going to be doing an install video on the highly anticipated Textron Wildcat 1000. We have our 2-to-1 and 1.5-to-1 steering quickener ready to go, ready for sale. And we're going to show you how to install that today. So without further ado, here's Dad. We're going to start doing the install video and put this nice 2-to-1 steering quickener in the Wildcat. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to unbolt the dash, and we've got a lot of this loose already from mocking this up before. Go ahead and unbolt your dash panel. It's got 2 screws on it, 4 screws, sorry. And that's going to remove this plastic piece, and
then you'll have a wire.
You'll have a wire to unplug, but we've already unplugged it. You can see where these four screws are. We've already unplugged it. Okay. Next, you're gonna go ahead and loosen your tilt bolts and get them ready to be pulled out.
They have Loctite on them, and they're the son of a gun to run out. So just be patient with them.
So he's removing those 2 bolts. Hang on. Okay, now you're going to want
to leave the shock hooked up for now and go down on the inside of the car and take loose the shaft from the U-joint at the power steering motor. You can leave the U-joint on the motor.
Yeah, this Textron has a unique U-joint setup. It'll actually unclamp from the shaft.
So you can use the shock to actually kind of help you leverage it off of there.
There you go.
It fell off. Now I've already got this loose. It has a nut on the back side.
And take that loose.
And this is what you'll have when you come out of the car.
Now, you're also going to want to note, we just took this out as an assembly.
Yeah,
if you wish to run your stock steering wheel, the first thing you're going to want to do is pop this cap off and get the steering wheel off the stock shaft. But most people take it out as an assembly. Then if you want to sell the car later, you can always put this back in there and keep your quickener. So a lot of people like to do that. So we're going to set this aside. So put the new shaft on the quickener. You're going to basically put that in like so. Have your set screw sticking out so that you can tighten it at a later point.
And go ahead. This is one of the few of them that you can tighten now. I recommend to go ahead. We're not going to for this mock-up, but I always pull this set screw out and run blue Loctite in there and run it all up good and snug.
The Loctite will take all the extra play or excess play out of your U-joint where it attaches to your shaft. So once you get that done, it'll look something like this. Okay.
This is going to be sent to you with 2 little bushings. These are so it pivots. They come from the inside to the outside. I got it. Might have been easier to put them in before you put that on. Now what I found a while ago when I was doing this is if I put it up here and just held it for a second and I actually started this bolt, it was a little bit easier to do.
So what he's talking about is starting the tilt bolt. It actually made it easier on him to maneuver everything in. Go ahead and get it started and thread it a little bit by hand.
Our piece is threaded on this one, so you don't have to put the nut on except to jam it in the future. And I'm just running it in by hand a little bit, just to have something to go by. Now here's where it's really helpful to have a second person, but you can do it by yourself. If he'll start that.
I'm going to start the U-joint in the front of the car.
I actually think you can do it probably by yourself from right there. Can you do it by yourself?
Started right there.
See, he already started it by himself, and then once I try to start a bolt, this is a little bit tricky part. You have to hold your finger on the back side of this bushing to keep it from coming.
Keep it from popping through.
And that's
Here, you go ahead with your bolt.
It's just not handy feeling. Oh, I'm sorry.
We're gonna supply you with bolts and hardware.
We'll supply you with a shorter bolt because you won't need you won't be able to use what it had before.
Start that by hand. Okay, and get your other one started. You can put a drop of Loctite on this bolt too.
We do strongly recommend that. Now, hold that one.
And these are 12 millimeter headed bolts. They're M8 125 bolts with their 12 millimeter head. Now your nut, your bushing, your cert on the back side.
Got to give yourself a little more room. Bring that all the way down. And your cert on the back side has 2 flat spots on it, and it's a, what size wrench?
16 millimeter.
16 millimeter wrench. And if you have a 12 millimeter ratchet, sure makes it easy because you can flip the ratchet wrench. Oh, gotta go the other way.
You got tight clearance from the factory dash and the plastic, so if you use a ratchet wrench, it works very well.
And you can tighten this up tight because we left enough room in the bushing so it can pivot.
Correct.
Now we do recommend that be blue Loctited.
Now we're going to do the other side.
Okay, that's done. Now you can see you still got your tilt and everything, but we don't have a way for our dash.
So what we've done here, you'll notice the Quickener is going to eliminate where your dash panel mounts.
We have no way to remount this to it that would
feasible
work because it's bigger.
So what we're doing here is we made a nice aluminum plate that's going to actually mount in. Now it's going to screw in for the mock-up. We're just two-sided taping it, but basically it's going to mount in here. We're going to go ahead and remove the dash out.
You can see how it fits nice, has the angles and everything on it. It's going to have 6 screws in it and all in place, and we've got the hole cut for the dash. You'll need to poke the wire through the dash.
Earlier when he told you about moving this wire from the front side to the back, this is why, to give clearance for the dash to go in.
You'll have to take your old dash and release these little tabs. This was kind of fun.
And the dash is also two-sided taped on besides those tabs, so don't freak out. It's going to be a little difficult to get off.
And you just got to keep working it and it'll finally come loose. But the two-sided tape is pretty tough that holds it on, and just keep working it. It does have lock tabs as well as a two-sided tape, and we're going to provide you with some new two-sided tape because this is going to be all messed up. So we'll actually have it stuck to the panel there.
So when you're done, that's the piece you'll be removing from factory. We'll set that away.
And you'll want to just plug this in, but I'm not going to plug it in now because we're going to be taking it right back apart. Okay then.